Hello, in this video we'll create a very simple shield that you can use in your games. First, let's go to File, New, and set the size 700 by 700 and the resolution 150. Click Create. Now that we have the canvas here, I'm going to add a new layer. I will call it Shield. And then I'm going to the Selection tool in here, Rectangular tool, and then I'm gonna hold and drag like this. And then I'm gonna choose different color. Let's see, something brown for example, or yellow, amber. It doesn't really matter, you can change it later. So using the paint bucket tool, I'm gonna paint inside here, then Control D to remove the selection. Now I'm going again to the selection tool, but this time I'm using the elliptical tool. I'm gonna go here and hold and drag like this. Now that I have it selected that way, what I want to do is I want to delete these things here and keep the one I selected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select inverse as we usually do, and then from my keyboard I'm going to press delete, then Control D to remove the selection. Now that I have it in here, I'm going to take this move tool and center it a little bit in here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to add a new layer. I want to add the texture for this shield, but instead of doing our usual way of making these smudgings and other stuff, I want to show you something else because I want to build your knowledge in Photoshop so that whenever you are trying to make something different, you will be able to. So I'm going here to the selection tool and I'm going to the single column tool. After having that, what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to make one here, one click, and after you click it in here, you will see that a new line shows up. Now I want to stroke this line, so I'm going to right click, stroke, and then choose the color black, and the size is 1, color black, inside, hit OK, Control D, remove the selection. Now I'm going to change the name of the layer. I'm going to call it texture, just so it will be clear. Now I want to make more lines in here. I want to have lines from here up to here. So instead of going every time and putting it like this, then stroke and stroke and stroke, what I'm going to do is, while here, I'm gonna duplicate this layer. So I'm going to right click, duplicate layer, or you can simply from your keyboard press Control J and it will be duplicated. Now that it's duplicated, I'm going to use the move tool. Then from my keyboard, I'm going to use the right arrow key and move it a little bit like this. And then again, from my keyboard, Control J to duplicate it. And still, while still in the moving tool, in the move tool, I'm gonna use my keyboard, right arrow keyboard, my right arrow in the keyboard to move it to the right, something like this. Now that I have 3 lines lined up here, I wanna copy all of them and then paste them in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna merge this layer and this layer and this layer. So from here, go here, then shift, while still holding shift, click in this texture, then Control E from your keyboard and it will all be merged. Now that it's all merged, Control J to duplicate them, and then from your move tool and your keyboard, right arrow key, go to the right one. I don't want to have different spaces, so something like this. Again, I'm going to merge this one and this one. So from here, while I'm still here, I'm going to press Control E. It will be merged. Then I'm gonna duplicate it, Control J, duplicate it, and then again from my keyboard while using the move tool, and something like this. Let's see. Yes, something like this. Again, I'm going to merge the 2 layers and duplicate them, and then move the lines in here. 1, 2, and one more duplication and move them to here. Okay, this looks good. Now what I need to do is I wanna delete everything outside of the shield because these lines are just like a texture for the shield, so there is no purpose for it to be outside the shield. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna merge all these textures layers by holding shift, click in here. You can either press Control E to merge it, or you can just right click from here, and then let's see, where is merge layers, and it is merged. I'm gonna call it texture. I'm going to delete this copy for. Having done that, I'm going to make a selection here. So Control, make selection, then select inverse, making sure that I'm still inside the texture layer. I'm going to uh, press delete from my keyboard, then Control D to remove selection. Now that I have the basic shape of the texture, I'm going to add more. I'm going to add like a frame for the shield in here. So what I will do is I'm going here, I'm gonna add a new layer. I'm going to call it shield frame, and then I will go and press Control and click on this thumbnail of shield. Now it is selecting shield, so what I will do is I'm going to select, modify, and then expand. I will expand it by 8, then okay. Now you can see that there is that the selection that we just made is being expanded. It has been expanded. So I'm going to the paint bucket tool, and then I'm going to choose something like a gray and paint in, Control D. Now I don't want all of this gray, I just want the selection that we just expanded. So what I will do is I'm going here, Control, then click on the thumbnail of the shield, and then while still in the shield frame layer, I'm going to press delete from my keyboard, then Control D to remove the selection, and as you see, now we have a frame for our shield. Now this is enough for this video. We'll continue in the next one. So for now, just go to File, Save As, name it as Shield, and then save. Yes, okay.